B, roll call or for names.
Miles Blakely.
Here.
Lauren Stopper. Here. Don Tice.
Here.
Brent Kellogg.
Here.
Joe Coster. Note that he is absent.
Item C is our Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Section 2 is presentations. Item A, recognizing here from visitors. I'm assuming we have none. Item B, treasurer's report.
So Dr. Wilkins put a few documents in here for you guys to look at for the treasurer's report. He said he will be giving more comprehensive treasurer's report for this upcoming year when he gets here next month.
What documents here? Is it like this spreadsheet?
He's got the spreadsheet in here that he normally does. Right after all of his treasurer's report for the July board
You
meeting.
just said the balances in general fund and fund activity.
Yes, and he'll talk more in depth about that next month.
Or if anybody have any question, we can fill it right in there to the answer if you answer.
Try.
Yeah. All right. Item C, Assistant Superintendent's report.
So professional development, we've already talked a lot about back to school professional development. You guys kind of know what we've got planned for that. And the only thing that's coming up in the more immediate is the state mandated professional development teachers have to do every year. We will be sending that out probably within the next week. So the ones who want to get an early start on it can, and we have some who will want to go ahead and get a jump on getting most of that done. It's all online. Ones who don't want to get started until they come on contract, that's also fine. We usually, in the past, have always given teachers until the, what formerly known as distance learning day. So the first collaboration day, they will have to get all of that training done. And that's mandated by the state. We only assign what's required by the state. It's things like bloodborne pathogens, child abuse, FERPA, Title IX. It's a lot of those kinds of things. So it's all online. They can work through it at their own pace. So we'll be sending that out probably sometime next week. And like I said, they can start if they want to. And we have some that have already asked for it. They don't have to start until they're on contract if they don't want to. And they'll have about 5 weeks or so once we get back into school to work on that. So that's professional development. Federal programs, we have submitted all of our claims for the entire year. We've gotten payment on all of those claims with the exception of 2, one being that school security money. We have not gotten payment on that. The claim has been accepted, so we're just waiting on payment. That's going a little slower than normal. I think that they are a pretty small group of people processing federal claims at the State Department, so it's just taking a little while for that to come in. The only claim that has given us a headache is our final Title I claim, which there were some issues with how it was, I think, submitted at the very, very beginning of the year, how the budget was submitted, and so some numbers weren't completely aligning, but Wayne and I have worked on that. We have gotten all the kinks worked out, submitted it today, and fully expect it to be approved. And that's a significant claim. It's about $105,000. So once that comes in, that'll be great. The money from the school security grant we're still waiting on is around $40,000. So that'll be good to get that money in. After we get payment on both of those, we'll be closing out all of our federal claims for the year. So we'll be carrying over a little bit, about $5,000 in Title I, so that we're required to carry over. So a little bit of carryover there. And then like I shared last month, we'll end up about a little over $21,000 carrying over in school security. So adding to the $92,000 that we'll be getting, we'll have a good amount of money to work on some projects going into next year. We talked about that, some of those bigger ticket projects like doors, which are $8,000 to $10,000 each. So be able to knock out several doors hopefully with that. Teaching and learning, you have the updated teaching and learning plan for this year. It's in your board books. Didn't have to make a whole lot of changes to that. We're just kind of continuing with the goals we've already set. This week, Mrs. Noble and I are starting a series of meetings actually with every principal to first of all, to update their literacy plans. You'll get new updated versions of that in August. So we're going to talk about the progress they made on their literacy plan for their site, as far as the goals that they set for last year, what their goals are for this upcoming year, how they plan to measure those goals, so we can report that back to you. And that will be one part of that meeting. The second part of that meeting will be looking at overall, not just focused on literacy, overall academic instructional goals that they want to set for their site for this year. I'm really excited. I know Dr. Wilkins is as well. I feel like we are in the right spot now, and some of the things that you guys as a board have done in regards to the ACT, in regards to allowing us to keep in WEA testing, purchasing new curriculums, we are in the best place for some significant academic growth that we have been in a long time. So that's great, because we needed some of these resources that we now have. We haven't had them, which is we're thankful for. That also puts the pressure on, because the expectation is high, and we know that. So we're going to be meeting with principals, Mrs. Noble, Dr. Wilkins, and I once a month, every month, to look over academic growth at their site month to month. We've come up with a district-wide, a collaborative teacher walkthrough form. Every site had input on that, looking at what do our teachers need as principals are going into the classroom, what resources can we assist them in getting, what goals can we set for ourselves as a district, what professional development do we need, so that we're seeing some significant continued academic growth in our kids. We are having good growth. We've got to get better, right? So, and we want to be the best that we can. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to have a team that's focused, really focused on academics. Obviously, a board that's supportive of that. So those meetings start Thursday. We'll meet with every single principal on Thursday to set some goals and talk about how we're going to measure those goals, what data are we going to use, and then set some plans for the rest of the year. So we'll be talking more about that in August whenever the literacy plans out. Questions?
No, you had a question or a comment. I came earlier today to get my thing. And was there something special happening today? Because it looked like there was a lot of activity. I mean, the whole place was a buzz. Yes.
We had Summer Pride this morning. Volleyball was going this morning. Cheerleading practice was going this morning. A lot of things.
You just thought school was out.
A lot of things.
Yeah, I liked it. It was impressive.
Well, I was wondering what was going on over there right now, because when I drove by at the front, I was like, you would have thought they're having school right now. So,
It's a big school house.
How is the move of second grade, how has that progressed?
it has, well, and I'll let Ms. Bell talk about that too, but from my perspective, it has gone about 100 times more smoothly than I anticipated it going. And I really thought it would go smooth because we have a phenomenal operations team.
Right.
They plan, they prepare, they do all the things. It was done before we really even realized that they had gotten started, I can be honest with you. They just, Dwight and Brady and that team, the kids they've got working for them, people they've got working for them, I mean, they just did it. They had teachers moved into rooms so quickly you didn't even really know that they had done it, to tell you the truth. Which has been awesome because that has cleared up a lot of our summer help to paint, to fix flooring, to redo hallways, to take lockers out, to do a lot of things that have needed to be done for a while. It's just where do you find the time and the manpower?
So I know those teachers are on a contract right now, right? That if we let them know that, hey, you can see your room with that.
Yes, and there's a lot of other things going on, like for instance at the lower right now, technology has been working so incredibly efficiently that they are essentially rewiring the entire lower elementary, which has made those rooms a mess, obviously. You know, anytime you're running wire and you're open the ceiling, it's going to make a mess. But I know Ms. Bell has been in contact, Ms. Morrissey, I've seen emails from her in contact. I think, as a matter of fact, all 4 principals have been kind of updating, here's what's going on, here's where we are, here's the areas we can get in, here's the areas we need you to stay out. Dwight sent an email just this morning, like, hey, we're working on this hallway, please don't come in until Wednesday, because we're working on it. But yes, they do know.
Is there anything they need? I mean, if the teacher's been in and seen the rooms, is there, like, if those rooms haven't been used in a long time, I mean, are
We did several walkthroughs before the year was over, so we had a pretty good list of all the absolute have to get done things, and then if we have extra time, let's get these done. And the good news is some of the optional things are getting done. Plus, we had people like the Kohler family that came and helped us build some walls in between classrooms, things, some community support that's helped us get
Item D, Title IX compliance.
So it's still hurry up and wait on Title IX, if I can be honest with you. We've gotten very little communication from anyone over the course of the last 2 weeks in the world of Title IX. Not from COSA, not from OSSBA, and I think that's not due to them withholding. I think nobody still really knows what's going to happen. We've gone ahead and scheduled our annual Title IX committee meeting. It's scheduled for, I tried to push it as close to the end of July as I could, hoping we would have some information. We're going to do that on July 29th in the afternoon. Hopefully by then we'll have more information. If we don't, Dr. Wilkins might discuss this. If we don't, then we will go ahead and update everything to match the new guidelines. That way we're prepared, ready to go August 1st. We'll be ready. I guess that's all I can say about that.
You remember off the top of your head, if you don't, it's fine, but who's on that committee? Is that?
It's all the administrators, 2 coaches. We can't remember off the top of my head now. We choose a male coach and a female coach, and we have 2 parents. Mr. Dixon. This year, I also invited Officer Tice to be a part of that because he did have to assist us with some investigating last year. So I think there's about 13 people on that committee.
All the parents are, so do you know?
I have not confirmed with parents yet. I sent messages today. I didn't say their names. But we will for sure have, we try to pick parents with children in different buildings, different ages, so that everybody's kind of represented.
Let us know if we can help with that.
I will.
With the clarification of phone calls. I mean,
I will.
Dawn says something from OSSBA.
I know he does. I know he does.
His phone. I mean, not that Julie doesn't answer the phone or whatever.
No.
I think everybody's waiting on to see what happens. I think there's a multi-state lawsuit that's building. So.
I think so. And I think everybody is just feeling very antsy about preparing for something that may not happen, but you have to be prepared anyway, right? So we will be ready to go by August 1st.
All right, section 3 is our consent agenda. These items may be approved by one board motion unless any board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of these items. Item A is discussion and consideration for approval of the following Oologah-Talala Public School Board of Education minutes for regular meeting June 10th, 2024, and special meeting June 25th, 2024. Item B, discussion and consideration for approval of the following warrants and encumbrances, general fund encumbrances 1 through 155. General fund warrants 4130 through 4472, building fund encumbrances 1 through 26, building fund warrants 617 through 701, and building bond fund encumbrance 1. Item C is discussion and consideration for approval of financial reports, general fund, building bond funds, and activity funds. Item D is discussion and consideration for approval of the following activity fund transfers, number 104 to 107. Item E, discussion and consideration for approval of the following fundraiser requests: Booster Club fundraisers 1 through number 79, and activity fund fundraisers number 90 through 195. Is that all? That's all. That is your consent agenda. So, board members, we can vote on all of it, or if anyone wants to pull something out, we can separate it, discuss and vote on it.
There were a couple of POs that Dr. Wilkins did want me to point out to you just because they are large. It's number 33, which is to OSIG. That's for our insurance. That amount's like a blanket PO that should take us through the year. So you'll see that one. And then also number 141, which is to SFE. It's for $200,000. Again, that's a blanket PO that should take us well through half of the year or more. For those two. Those are the two that he wanted to make sure that you saw.
All right. Is there an item before we want to vote on separately? I would entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
Move to approve consent agenda items number A through E. Second the motion.
Discussion? Vote please.
Yes. Yes.
The consent agenda is approved. Section 4 is administrative. Item A, recommendation, consideration, and action on approving the following contracts for the 2024-2025 school year. These items may be approved by one board motion unless any board member desires to separate and vote for any or all of these contracts. Oklahoma Public School Resource Center, Alliance Mental Health, Horizon Digital Enhanced Campus, Marlowe Education Management Services, Beth Ann Manipilia, PLLC, Integrative Physical Therapy, PC, Pediatric Assessment and Counseling, Emerson College for a Clinical Affiliation, Joy Lambert, SLP, Oklahoma Department of Rehabilitation Services, Transition School to Work, Oklahoma Department of Rehabilitation Services, Work Study Services, and CRW for completing OCC data requests.
So these are all just yearly renewals. All of these are ones that we have approved before. Most of them have to do with our special education services, our physical therapists, our occupational therapists, speech therapists, the services that we can provide for transition services for students when they've left us. Those are the DRS contracts. So it's all ones that are yearly renewals for us.
And there's nothing new. There's not a new vendor in any of this.
Not here. No.
Or we can vote on any of them individually, or we can do item A as one item.
I would move that we approve all the items listed in item A as listed.
Second.
Discussion? Vote, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Item A is approved. Item B, recommendation, consideration, and action on approving the following platforms to be used by school personnel to communicate with students regarding the topic specific to the platform. Ingenuity, Aristotle, Hubble, and Rank 1.
So you'll remember when we talked about this last month, we mentioned there would be a couple others that we didn't realize had communication features built in, and these are them. So Edgenuity is used by our alternative education students. These students who are working virtually use Edgenuity, and they do communicate with their instructor through Edgenuity. But again, that's something that we can monitor. We have access to that. Aristotle is the software that we use to monitor what students are doing on their school devices. So the teacher can log in and can see every screen of every child in her classroom. There is a communication feature in there as well, such as if the student is off task, the teacher can send a message to the student saying, you need to close off that game and get back to work. So, but again, that's something that we can monitor. We own that. Huddle and Rank 1 are both used for athletics. I'm not super familiar with the communication side of those two, but those are two that Mr. Dixon had said that we would need to include.
There is I believe there's an administrative that they can go.
Yes. On all of these, my understanding is we have the ability to maintain control over all four. Edgenuity and Aristotle for sure. The other two, I believe that to be accurate as well.
I don't know Rank 1. I have used Hubble. Right. Item B. I would entertain a motion on item B.
Did I see okay, the last two come at the request of the activity.
Athletic director?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there a reason, do they handle something special? Is there a specialty to those two that makes it more usable? Why did it come from him, I guess?
I think because they're only used by the athletic department, and they're not anything that a principal would have anything to do with, or an administrator besides athletics would have anything to do with. So that's why that would come from him.
So I've used Hub, and I'm not trying to speak for Drew or whatever, but that is where they will take a certain sport or game and they will cut it into clips. The coaches do that, and the students have access to it. So I'm assuming it's kind of a covering our EIs. Yeah. You know,
Rank 1 is like for the athletic program. I know for my kids anyway, as a
Yep.
parent, I have to go in and upload their physical, upload documents, I have to sign documents about concussion protocol and different things like that. So every athlete has to, or a parent has to sign off on Rank 1. And that's where it's all housed, and it gives the coaches, or I guess Drew, information on if they are legal to participate. You know, they've completed all of their protocol status.
It's where they upload their physical,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff goes
I mean, I think it's great. I just brought up, seeing it, it's just coming from the athletic director was a little different.
I don't know the communication.
Remember, I'm trying to think, it's been a long time ago, so it's
But
probably.
these platforms are always upgrading,
Yeah.
so I think it's wise to.
Oh, I agree. After what the state legislature passed down, as we as a local district, we got to do something
Great.
to protect our teachers and that really do good jobs and rule out against the others, not restrict them so much that they can't do their job. So that, just curious why that can happen.
If the parent hasn't signed a form, you can message the parent asking them to sign the form and send it back to you.
You're right, Mom. Gotcha.
Move to approve under administrative item B as presented.
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, vote please.
Yes.
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 Yes, item B is approved. Item C is recommendation, consideration, and action on approving the following handbooks, plans for the 2024-2025 school year. These items may be approved by one board motion unless any board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of these items. The teaching and learning plan, student mental health protocol, wellness plan, elementary student parent handbook, secondary students parent handbook, and the Oologah-Talala public school facility handbook.
These are yearly approvals as well. I'll let the principals talk about the handbooks here in a second as far as what they updated, but regarding the teaching and learning plan, student mental health protocol, wellness plan, and faculty handbook, very little changes. Updating names, updating dates, nothing of any substance. Now, we'll bring the literacy plan next month, and of course, the Title IX plan will have pretty substantial updates. But as far as these go, they're pretty much the same that they have been. Ms. Bell, you want to talk about elementary?
The elementary, all we updated was the big thing was the cell phone, access to the cell phone policies. And then we added small things like page numbers and then phone numbers for child nutrition so that parents have easy access to that.
On secondary, if you will refer to page 11, under discipline for dress code violations, the middle school changed the second offense to ASD. Previously, it said warning and parent call. So it's essentially saying we're going to warn you at orientation, we're going to warn you again, and then the second offense would be after school attention, and then the third offense, ISD. And then we've updated the employees' names where appropriate. Some of the employees haven't been hired yet, like the high school secretary and the registrar, so that's kind of been left blank. Look on page 14. We have, in the past, under the due process procedures heading, in the past, we've had a student who's been suspended out of school for more than 10 days, has the right to appeal the administrative decision, and we've since found that any suspension can be appealed. So I corrected that statement that says a student has been suspended out of school has the right to appeal the administrative decision. And I'll fix that typo. I'll get these things 1,000 times. It's so frustrating. Oh my goodness. Okay, and on page 22, we updated the ACT dates for this next year. Those are updated annually. And page 23, if you look at the top under ingenuity, the normal statement of virtual for high school utilizes the course from ingenuity, and this next year, it's my hope that we start our own ingenuity with online virtual for some of our kids at the middle school level, and so I added that feature in there just to say it meets criteria for promotion to the next grade level. So that's 23. Then on the discipline rubric, which is at the very back, if you will continue to thumb through like appendix see, and you'll start seeing like the matrix that we have. We just basically let me look here, that we updated the cell phone policy on page 29 in the document, and then on the OMS rubric is item 27, and it's on the high school rubric, item 26. And then OHS discipline referral, or discipline rubric, they added community service could count for one detention, as long as the administration and parent agree. And that's about it.
Obviously, the biggest change to both handbooks is the self-policy. The response, I have to tell you, I was expecting a positive response, honestly, to the self-policy. It has been so overwhelmingly positive. It's been, and we've talked about this with our administrative team, put a lot of questions, which is not negative, right? And a lot of people just trying to understand the purpose behind it. There's a lot of questions, what about if there's an emergency? Those types, which I think are good questions for parents to be asking. Overwhelmingly, people are so incredibly excited and supportive of the policy and the hopeful, very positive outcome it will have for our classrooms and our kids.
All right, entertain a motion on item C.
Move to approve item C under administrative as presented.
Second motion.
Further discussion?
Okay, on the very back page is the signature page. I think I asked about this last year, but how much of this gets filled out?
I don't know that we do a great job of that, because we don't, like, we get it out, but they don't return it. Especially at the middle school, we can't get that. We try to have like a party for the first class to get theirs in. We try to do incentives to get them in. We get them in, but we do miss them.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Do you get them in maybe signed by the student and not the parent, or do you?
Possibly. I mean, some of them can sign their.
When parents come to me and everything, I kind of refer to the handbook and what they do.
You know, one thing I thought about doing for the middle school is, having that link like sent out on the thrill share text to the parents, and then even have that as a link that they can even get on as a Google form and sign it if they want to.
Could it be in the enrollment packet of all the other things we have to sign?
Pardon me?
Could it not be in the enrollment packet of everything else we have to sign?
That's a good idea. Like the pre-enrollment that's already coming through. That's a good idea.
That's built, the enrollment packet is built by the page, not by us, so I don't know.
Or uploaded later, and like, we get stuff throughout the year. I'm not saying like that, but I'm just saying, we get a notification about everything we gotta sign.
It's interesting when I say something, say something to the parents.
What?
Yeah, I mean, 90% of them or more are handbook, and then they figure out, oh, they were when they said they should see me.
Or when you say, what does your handbook say about that? And they're like, oh, it's in a handbook.
This is online. It's online.
Yes, it's online, yes. Yes, and I can speak for the elementaries. I don't know how they do it secondary, but the elementary, like it would be a back to school night, we would have copies available. If people wanted to take one, they could take one. If they didn't want to take one, they would all sign off that they knew where they could access it. So whether or not they
That's
actually
all,
go and
yeah,
access it, I don't know, but everyone would sign that they knew that where they could find it, and then we would have copies available if they wanted one. They could take a paper copy. And I would say normally we would make like 25 copies, and normally we would end the night with 25 copies still.
On the community service, is this back to community service, or just mom let us work and that counts as our detention?
I think, now, this is at the high school, I think it's in lieu of just one detention. If like Kevin or Scott talk to a parent and they want to do cafeteria work or cleanup or something like that, I don't know if it's anything outside of the site.
I know that it's, the ones I know about has had to come to the school.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, I want like validated.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think somebody's
It's not-
managing it, yeah.
Mom, I wash the dishes. That's
Oh, wait.
Wait,
Yeah, I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
Ladies, thank you. This has been a lot of work to put the Bible together, if you will. But it's an incredible tool for us, like what Miles explained, that it's just one of those cover your rear type of things that we said, this is what we're going to do. We're just doing what we said we're going to do. And So we're not, I mean, even though the accusation is we just make rules up and do whatever, and I know you guys have done a lot of work into this, so thank you very much. Where were we?
You're ready.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Okay, vote please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Item C, all of those items have been approved. Item D, consideration action on appointment of superintendent as purchasing agent for Oologah-Talala Public Schools, authorized representative for all federal programs, including E-rate, child nutrition, designated custodian for general fund, building fund, bond fund, all federal programs, including E-rate, all state programs, and all other school programs and activities not listed in the 2024-2025 school year.
Just standard, you guys approve this every year. It gives Dr. Wilkins the ability to make purchases, but you still have to approve the POs, you still have to approve the checks. Just gives him the ability to actually go purchase.
See how you threw under the bus and had us put on this bill out here? We entertain a motion on item D.
Move to approve item D under administrative as presented.
Second. Discussion? Vote please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Item D is approved. Item E, recommendation, consideration, and action on approving GoFan as a ticketing solution for Oologah-Talala Public Schools athletics and activities.
It's no cost to our district whatsoever. It just lets people purchase a ticket online if they want to. They can still pay cash at the gate. They can still pay here if they want to. But OSSAA already uses GoFan. A lot of districts already use it. It just is a convenience for people, honestly, if they want to purchase their ticket in advance or if they don't have cash on them, they can pay on.
We don't take credit card at our
We
ticketing
do not.
booth, so this basically becomes your,
Yes.
hey, all got a card, great, go to this
Yes.
website, show me your ticket.
And we, GoFan themselves adds a convenience fee. I think it's like $1.50 or something. We don't get that, but we still would get the $5 or whatever the entry fee is. They would just be paying $6.50 or something for the convenience of being able to get their ticket online.
All right, motion on item E.
I would move that we approve GoFan as a ticketing solution for the OTPS athletics and activities.
Second.
Discussion? Vote please.
Yes.
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 Yes, item E is approved. Item 5 is personnel. Board, we're really only hiring, well, we're only moving a person that is currently employed. But item A is a proposed executive session to discuss resignations, hiring, personnel, and/or extra duty assignments pursuant to 25 OS Section 307(1) and 7 of the open meeting law. Items to be discussed are resignations of Madeline Bellotti and Jessica Flegel, and then hiring Tammy Jennings as a full-time substitute. Are there extra duty contracts?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So if you guys want to go to executive session, it's there.
Are any of these new positions, new employees?
Not new employees, but one is a new position, but not a new employee.
Do you want to go to executive session?
Yeah, I mean, I'd just like to hear what the position is and why.
Okay.
Move to convene executive session.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Is there a second?
Sorry.
Okay, vote please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Director Show. Executive session. Ladies, if y'all are stranger if you're leaving, thank you for all you do. And enjoy your summer. Because August, they're here. session. Item D. While we were in session, Lyle Blakely, Lauren Scoffer, Don Tice, along with myself, Brent Kellogg, we're joined by Assistant Superintendent Kendra Atkins. Let the record show that Joe Coster nor Dr. Wilkins were there. All right. There were no votes taken, no action was decided on the executive session. Item E, vote to accept or not accept submitted resignations as listed below. Madeline Bellotti, paraprofessional effective June 30th, 2024, and Jessica Flavel, paraprofessional effective July 2nd, 2024. I would entertain a motion on item.
Move to accept the recommendations listed in item E under personnel.
Second motion.
Vote please.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, item E is approved. Item F, motion to vote to employ or not employ a recommended applicant for the positions listed below. Tammy Jennings as a full-time substitute for 2024-2025 school year.
Move to approve item F under personnel, Stanley Jennings for a full-time substitute.
Second motion.
Vote please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Item 6, Board, we do have a couple of items under new business that came in after the deadline of the agenda being submitted, so I would present these to you.
This first one is just an MOU between us and Grand Mental Health. Again, this is a yearly MOU. We sign it every year. It just didn't come in until Friday. So Grand is one of the mental health agencies that we refer to. No more important than any of the other ones, except that this is the one that is cited as our mental health service provider in the mental health plan that's required by the state. You have to choose someone with a state contract. So we identified Grand has a state contract. So they are the ones that we use for students who do not have existing mental health services. In an emergency crisis, we go to Grand first. So again, this is just yearly. There's no cost to the district, just like all of our other mental health services, but it just came in after the deadline.
So I would entertain a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding, or MOU, between Grand Mental Health and Oologah-Talala Public Schools.
I move that we approve the memorandum of understanding between Grand Mental Health and Oologah-Talala Public Schools as presented in the report.
Second.
Discussion?
I need to abstain from voting.
Okay. We can still accept 3. Okay. Vote please.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. We'll try to show the MOU between Grand and Oologah-Talala Public Schools is approved. And the second item.
Second item, Heather Forrest is I don't know to give you, but Heather Forrest is a teacher that you hired at the June 10th board meeting to teach 4th grade. She reached out to Ms. Morrissey this morning and let her know that she has accepted an opportunity out of the area. I don't know what that means, but we just need to rescind hiring of Heather Forrest. And then Mrs. Morrissey will look for someone else for 4th grade.
Who was it?
Heather Forrest.
Heather Forrest.
I would entertain a motion rescinding the hiring of Heather Forrest for the 2024-2025 school year.
Move to rescind the hiring of Heather Forrest for the 2024-2025 school year.
Second motion.
Vote please.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Record show that her hiring has been rescinded. There's no further new items. Okay. New business. All right. Then item 7 would be motion to go to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Vote please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. We are